SmackDown took place from Tulsa, Oklahoma last night, and first of all, I'd like to apologize for the late review. And the reason I didn't review it last night, I was going to, but what occupied my attention was the Los Angeles Lakers doing this amazing tribute for Kobe Bryant last night. It aired on ESPN. It was incredible. It was very sad. It was just an incredible tribute for him, and it took my focus away, and the show was pretty forgettable, so I apologize for that, but I'm here to review it. And the show was actually not even called Friday Night SmackDown. They called it Super SmackDown because the Super Bowl is tomorrow. And it's crazy how the Super Bowl, it's the biggest event of the year in terms of sports. But, the Kobe news it really, ruined, it's made everything really sad the whole week. And it took away from the Super Bowl for sure. But for that game, just to give you my prediction, I like Patrick Mahomes. I'm a big fan of his. I like Andy Reid as a coach. I'd like to see him win the Super Bowl. However, I don't see him winning. I think the Chiefs are going to lose. I'm picking the San Francisco 49ers to win the Super Bowl. Rooting for the Chiefs, but I believe the 49ers will win their 6th Super Bowl. Now, let's get on to the show. This Super SmackDown started with Roman Reigns and Usos coming out to the ring. They mocked King Corbin. And, of course, King Corbin comes out with Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Went on forever. Awful. They're doing the whole dog food thing, and he says Reigns mocked Corbin for having a dog food fetish, and he says they're going to have a match in which the loser eats dog food, which did not happen, by the way. You get dog food poured on you. You actually have to eat it, and they bring out dog food, and it's all gourmet-style dog food in two big pots. They have cans next to it, and it's like a stand. I thought, all right, this is what we're doing. We have a fucking dog food. Hey, Fox, you spent... how much billions of dollars did Fox spend on WWE? You got your money's worth for a goddamn dog food match in the main event. The 2 nights before the Super Bowl, people might actually looking at Fox because Fox is hosting the Super Bowl. I don't think people know. So it's 2 nights before the Super Bowl. Hey, what's on Fox? Oh, SmackDown. Fucking dog food. All right? This is a big SmackDown. I mean, it's probably one of the bigger SmackDowns of the year. Obviously not. The bigger one is going to be before WrestleMania. But the fact that Fox has Super Bowl this year, we got fucking dog food. Anyway, this was fucking awful as shit. Oh, it sucks. Anyway, you had Miz and John Morrison against the Lucha House Party, against Heavy Machinery, against Revival in the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. I think the winner gets a tag team title shot against New Day in Saudi Arabia, which is going to be the 27th. I believe it's called Super Showdown again, so they're doing that again. The first one was actually Australia, then they took it for Saudi Arabia. But I guess it's Saudi. They're just going to have Super Showdown and Crown Jewels. They're 2 shows each year. Hopefully this remains at 2. Because the fact they put it in February was like, oh, shit, they're not going to do 3 shows, are they? But I think it'll just remain at 2. They're just going to change up the schedule each year. But that's it. Super Showdown, February 27th. The one thing that sucks is the road to WrestleMania. I hate when they do pay-per-views before WrestleMania. I think WrestleMania, you can just tell a long story for 9 weeks. However, when you do a show in between, it does take away. However, if it's one show like Elimination Chamber or back then No Way Out, that was fine, just one show. Those were usually good shows because it was exciting. It's WrestleMania time and guys were really going at it. Unfortunately, when you're doing a show in Saudi Arabia, they do so much with that. It's going to consume the whole thing. It's going to overshadow WrestleMania season. Then, of course, you're going to have to build to the chamber. You're only going to have 3-4 weeks to properly build to WrestleMania, but that's what they're doing, I guess. Anyway, this was a decent matchup. Miz and Morrison get the win as everyone expected. They will challenge New Day. We go backstage. You see Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, and they're approached by Heavy Machinery, which was Otis and Tucker. Mandy Rose thanks Otis for helping her out in the Royal Rumble, and then Tucker finally tells Otis, you have to do it. And Otis asks Mandy Rose on a date. Mandy Rose rejects. Otis asked her for next Friday. However, there's a caveat. Mandy Rose says, you know what? I'm busy next Friday. I have work. What am I doing on Friday? Oh, I have to go to work on SmackDown. Oh, okay. But she says next Friday she's available, so I guess she's not scheduled that week, and that's going to be Valentine's Day. So I think is that exactly the 14th? Let me check my calendar. It's exactly the 14th. Wow. Perfect. That would be perfect timing. It lands exactly on February 14th on Valentine's Day. Mandy and Otis are going on a date on Valentine's Day. Hey, good for them. They landed it perfectly. And they set it up. She says she's available next Friday, and there you go. So we'll see what they do. I hope it's not going to be something with Tucker and Mandy. I really wish they should. I'm going to keep going back to that stupid Lana, Liv Morgan, Bobby Lashley fiasco at the wedding. That you could just replace that. That really should have just been Otis and Mandy are in love. They're getting married, and maybe they can do this at WrestleMania season. And of course, Sonya is the love of Morgan Roll. She tells Mandy she loves her. Yeah, that's what they should have done it. But yeah, I don't think it's going to really work out this time. But I hope they don't mess this up, because this is actually one of the best things they have. It's weird. I would never thought 4 years ago you tell me Mandy Rose and Otis are going to be the most entertaining thing on SmackDown. What's wrong with SmackDown? This is actually really good. I like this a lot. I'm a big fan of this angle. I hope they continue. I hope they go all the way with this. Do a wedding ceremony. I think they should. Anyway, they recapped The Fiend and Daniel Bryan, and they showed a YouTube special when Daniel Bryan talks about the welt on his back and showing his daughters. Man, it looked brutal. Damn, Daniel Bryan's tough. They showed This Week in History, and they showed Rock and Mankind from Halftime Heat in the Super Bowl 21 years ago. And last year, they did a Halftime Heat show in NXT. They're not doing it this year. I guess last year was because it was 20 years anniversary, and they could have given us certainly a good halftime as entertainment. But I thought to myself this year they could have done it again. Maybe they can do it yearly, but it is only going to be in NXT. It was it was like a host show match. So I see why they probably think, no, it's probably just a waste of money. So it's fine. So next we go to a tag team match. You have Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross come out, and they're up against Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. They've been feuding for about 5-6 weeks, and every single time they're supposed to have a tag match, they don't. Last week they were gonna, but it was the Royal Rumble, and they did stuff to interfere anyway. They recap Mandy and Sonya's eliminations, and we only get to see a little bit of their entrance. Where it's a strange entrance, like when Sonya puts her arm around Mandy and holds her hand. Like it makes you think, are they going to do that angle? I assume they will eventually. Anyway, Mandy and Sonya are heels. Alexa is a babyface. Now, Alexa, I think, could be a really good babyface if they pushed her well. Decent match up here. DeVille's in there. Rose, they beat up Bliss for a while, and Bliss is, of course, the big babyface, so they're going to push her for a while. Best part, however, of this match is Sonya Deville's on the outside, and Alexa Bliss, and she gets caught in between the apron, and the apron's exposed, so Sonya is exposed there. Alexa goes for a baseball slide, but she misses, and she goes crotch first into the ring apron, and she even went all the way up there. And I never thought I'd want to switch places with the ring apron in my life, but I think every man in the world who's straight would have loved to just bend that ring apron for about 3 seconds. It went right into Alexa. I thought that was nice. And she was even joking about it when it happened. Like, oh, well. And when he first saw it, it didn't really seem like a big deal, but it went right up there. Damn, luckiest ring apron in the world. I'm sure they saved the ring apron. I'm sure there's going to be production people. That's going to be in possession anyway. Alexa and Nikki get the win. What a surprise. Sonya gets taken out. Nikki Cross hits a neckbreaker Mandy Rose, and Alexa Bliss gets a twist of bliss. 1, 2, 3. She pins Mandy Rose clean in the middle of the ring. They're continuing the ascension with Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, I assume, but it was a bit surprising pinning Mandy quickly when they're going to give her that kind of a big segment in a couple of weeks. So I thought they might give her a win, but they give Alexa the win. It was a surprise, and no heavy machinery interference. Next was the big match of the night. Probably would have been a better main event. This was really good. You had Shinsuke Nakamura defending his Intercontinental title against Braun Strowman. Solid matchup here. You had Sami Zayn and Cesaro interfere in this matchup here for a while, and they had him expose the turnbuckle near the end. But however, Nakamura is trying to send Strowman into a certain turnbuckle, but Strowman reverses, and he sends Nakamura into the turnbuckle, and Zayn and Cesaro fucked up. Now Nakamura is in trouble, and Strowman hits his running power slam. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Braun Strowman, your new Intercontinental champion. They treat it like it's a big deal. They're going to push him. I'm pissed off. I want to see Shinsuke Nakamura and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title. We're clearly not going to get that now. You're not going to do Strowman and Daniel Bryan. I don't think we want to see that. But we'll see what they do now. I would have loved to have seen it. However, they're giving the IC title to Strowman. Strowman's your new Intercontinental champion. They treat it like it was a big deal. I'm happy they're giving him something. I wish he should have really been world champion. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they can salvage him. You never know. But they fucked up with him, I think it's a bit too late. They go to Nakamura, Zayn, and Cesaro. They're fierce about losing the title backstage. Zayn's going on a rant, and Elias interrupts them. They go back and forth, and then they have Cesaro interrupt him while he's singing. They have a brawl, and this sucked. They go to Corey Graves and Michael Cole, and Cole talks about Graves' podcast and his interview with Ronda Rousey, which I enjoyed. I liked the interview a lot with Ronda. You can check it out on I forget what it's called. His podcast, it's on Apple. It's a pretty good interview he did with Ronda Rousey. Sheamus against Shorty G. Sheamus wins. No shit, of course. What else? Next, you have Bayley come out to the ring, and she talks about retaining the women's title against Lacey Evans on Sunday. I think Bayley is just not very good as a heel. I like her, but she's not working. I don't know if they're going to keep her the belt. They're going to keep her have her hold on to the belt until WrestleMania to lose it to Sasha Banks, I assume. But won't surprise me. I don't know. I guess they announced Roman Reigns and Sasha Banks are going to be at a Super Bowl pizza party. I don't know. It is what it is. Her and Sasha, Roman and Sasha. I guess they chose them to represent them at the Super Bowl or some Pizza Hut stuff. Anyway, Bayley's there. She brags about Lacey Evans, and of course Naomi interrupts her, and she rips into Bayley, and she says Bayley never beat her. She wants her title back, and she challenges Bayley to a match. And Bayley tries to hit Naomi with the belt, and Naomi, however, hits her with a springboard kick and kicks Bayley's ass. So I guess we're going to get Bayley and Naomi in Saudi Arabia. They already did it with Natalya and Lacey Evans. It worked out fine. I think they're going to get the second time. I think they're going to get Bayley and Naomi. They could not. They could just stay up for Elimination Chamber, but I think that's a bit too long. I think we're probably going to get that at Saudi Arabia because it seemed like an angle they want to do. Loser eats dog food. Here we go. Main events. Roman Reigns and the Usos against King Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, and Robert Roode. So they bring down the dog food to ringside. I was there the whole show. They showed it the entire show. It's 2 big pots of dog food. They have a whole bunch of cans of dog food. Graves and Cole talk about how much it sucks. And this is your main event. So we know who's going to win. Reigns pins Corbin. He beats him with the roll-up. Ziggler and Roode in the match. They end up trapped under the announce table. And once they get rid of them, Ziggler and Roode are out, and Reigns gets Corbin with the win after that. And then Corbin tries to run off. However, the Usos hit up the super kick, and they handcuff Baron Corbin, and Roman Reigns gives him a big spear. They tie him up and they put the handcuffs over the ring apron like they did to Reigns with the dog food last month. And Baron's defenseless. The Usos tease him with the cans. They throw cans on him first. Reigns throws a spoonful of dog food on him. And then, of course, they grab the two giant bowls of dog food, and they dump him over its head, but it doesn't go in his mouth. He was supposed to eat it. He does not eat it. He basically just puts his arm over his head, and it just like covers his bald head. And then they dump a second one, same thing. He's covered in dog food. His face is covered there. He doesn't necessarily eat it. It looks gross, but yeah, Baron Corbin covered in dog food. Hopefully this Roman Reigns Baron Corbin feud ends. It ends with Reigns and the Usos posing with the picture on Corbin covered in dog food, and hopefully that's the end of this angle. So that's it for Super SmackDown. Enjoy the Super Bowl again. Just to go over it again, here's what I think. I'm a football fan. I think when you have a football game in the Super Bowl, it's decided by offense and defense. The defense always wins. The 49ers have a massive front four. It's great. You have a Bosa there. You have Frank Clark. You have some really good defenders on that line. And I think what's going to happen is Kansas City's offensive line is going to get overpowered, and they're just going to hit Mahomes enough. He's going to score points, but they're going to slow him down. I don't think KC can really run the ball. And I think with the 49ers, once they slow him down, they hit him with this. They get to him. They get to Mahomes. They kill drives on the 49ers side of offense. I think they're going to be able to really run the ball on the Chiefs. Chiefs stopped Eric Henry last game, but I think when you have a Coleman, you have Breather, and you have a Mostert, those 3 good running backs, I think Jimmy G will complete passes, in particular to Kittle. I think they'll do enough to win. And I want the 49ers to win. I'm going with I want the Chiefs to win. I would like to see them win, but I think the 49ers take the game. Also, I think George Kittle and Travis Kelce, maybe not Kelce. I know Kittle's a huge wrestling fan. He plays tight end for the 49ers. He's one of the best teams. He's a huge fan. So we'll see how the game goes. Hopefully we get a good game. Can't be worse than last. We look at it like that. So, but for Fox on Super Sunday, I'm rooting for the Chiefs, but I believe the San Francisco 49ers will win their 6th Super Bowl.